All right, guys, welcome to the weekly recap. My name is High Ruler, joined as always by Slight Stardust. Can I call you Slight Stardust? Or do you just want Stardust?
Whoa, that's kind of weird. You've never called me Slight Stars before.
I
What,
just,
what
I
the
just, I,
fuck?
I, I wanted to go with like a fresh opening, because like sometimes, I say the same thing like time after time. I wanted to go a little bit fresh. No,
But
can't do
it
that.
feels
No.
like it feels like it feels like our relationship's changing when you say things like that.
Oh,
Like
like it
that's
goes.
like
It's like more
that's
professional,
like
right?
me. Yeah, that's like me
Okay.
calling you John, and then it's like, all
Mm.
right, Jonathan. It's a bit like, whoa, what have I done wrong?
Oh,
Do you know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
All right. So, do you want me like redo it then? Do you want me like start again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So,
Like,
do you want me like change
all right.
scenes and do the whole thing kind of thing? Is that what you're looking
Yeah,
for?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
change
Okay. Okay.
scenes, and
Okay.
then we'll
All
go
right. All
back,
right.
and then
Yeah.
okay.
All right. One second, everybody. All right. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the weekly recap. My name is High Ruler, joined as always by Stardust. Stardust, how you doing?
Yay, we're in love again.
How you doing, buddy? How's it going?
I'm good. Well, not
Yeah.
really, but I'll
What?
do. I'll do. It's
Why?
fine.
What's wrong, dude? Do you want to talk about it before we get started, or what?
Oh, mate, how long have we got?
We can have we can devote about
Oh.
5 minutes to this.
Okay, so for everyone who's
Okay,
been wondering, and for everyone
five
who
minutes is
follows me
all
on
you get. So
socials and
okay,
Discord and stuff
hold
like
on,
that,
hold on.
like,
Google timer. Okay,
holy
5 minutes
shit.
clicked. All right, you get 5 minutes. Go for it.
Okay, so for anyone who
Mm-hmm.
follows the socials, you'll understand that like I have been struggling with my stream for a good bit, and
Struggling.
it's given me like sleep paralysis demons, right? Like I am literally stressed about it. So for anyone
Mm-hmm.
who like may
Mm-hmm.
see me live, who follows me on Twitch, and I just disappear in a flash, that's because it fucking broke. All right, but it's fine
It's fine.
because
It's totally fine.
Hyrule's been helping me. Hyrule's,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord and Savior, Mr. Crash Test Hyruler, and he's been good. He's saving me out, so I'll be all
Praise
right.
be, praise be, praise be.
Praise
You
be.
you
So
took
that's
about
it.
45 seconds for that. That was really good. I'm really happy. I'm sure
Yeah, I don't know
you
why you
take.
thought I'd take 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, I gave you 5 minutes just to kind of, give you some buffer, but no, 45 seconds was pretty good, man. I'm sure your fiance may disagree, but that's totally cool. So today, guys, what we're talking about is
Hey,
we're
hey,
obviously doing
hey!
the old.
It's all about listen, mate. It's not about the inches or the time. It's about what you do with that time. All right.
Anyways, guys, so speaking of time, we're going to talk about the OLT with the Tachyon timer and our review of it. Then we're also going to be talking about the Black Panther info dump that we got last week. And then I think we should also talk about the 4 times XP and kind of just drive in, that conversation point. I put a little bit on Twitter about it, and I think there's some room to talk about that. And then I think also we got to talk about Spider-Man. So I'm gonna let you take your I'm gonna let you take your pick of which topic to start with because any of those seems like a great opener. Do you want to do Spider-Man first? Yeah, let's do Spider-Man first. Let's get Stardust crying out of the way first. Where do we begin with? Now it's been an official year, right? Am I correct on that? It's been a year.
It's been a year.
It's been a year, and we
It's
now
oh.
officially have crossed the threshold of no Spider-Man news. Like, can okay,
Can I go on a bit of a rant
please,
about
yeah,
this
yeah, no,
before
this
we
is
get
this is
started?
you. Okay, this is you, so I'm gonna let you take this one. Yeah, go for it.
So, okay, so literally a year ago at 6 o'clock my time, I actually remember the fucking time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was the blog that came out about Spider-Man being in Marvel's Avengers early 2021. All right. Now,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, there was a bunch of delays that happened like that. Naturally, Spider-Man was always going to be pushed back. Okay, cool. I get it. Right. I totally
Mm-hmm.
understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it has been a year and we have
Yes.
always heard from official sources without on a podcast or interview or nothing like that is he has really cool skins and animations. Wow, whipsy fucking do, mate. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we are waiting for Guardians of the Galaxy like less than half the time we will get this fucking character.
Yeah.
That's mad to me. We have probably waited we waited less time between Miles's reveal and his release date, Spider-Man Miles Morales,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's insane to me. And I understand that like Sony hold the cards. Everyone knows that. Everyone
Right,
gets that,
right,
right?
right,
It's not
right. Which is
secret.
which is the man. I don't want to cut you off, but like literally today, I put out a tweet. I'm gonna pull it up on screen here.
Yeah.
I put out a tweet today saying the whole Spider-Man thing is by far one of the most boneheaded moves. Here, I'm gonna switch my scenes here around. Boom. There we go. So I put out a tweet here saying I think most people can agree that getting through pretty much a whole year without even a glimpse of Spider-Man is one of the most boneheaded, bizarre decisions in relation to Avengers there ever has been. Now I made that tweet and like all the replies were saying but Sony, but Sony, but Sony. And my point is, I don't care which mega conglomerate you're getting mad at. The point being is that it's been a year. I don't care if you're getting mad at Square, Marvel Games, PlayStation, Crystal Dynamics. I don't really give a fuck. The point that I'm trying to make is that it's been a year and we don't even know what the fucking guy looks like. You know?
I I think that like here's the awkward thing is that like just going playing devil's advocate for those people who keep saying Sony, Sony, Sony. I
Mm-hmm.
understand that when people are getting pissed off, like myself, because this isn't because I'm just a fan. I'm just genuinely pissed off that this is a thing that has taken a year and we've heard nothing. Like it's
Right.
crazy to me. But anyway, I understand that it's kind of CD in a bit of a hostage situation because they cannot do anything. It is
Right.
Sony.
Yeah.
Like it is 100%. It's not one of those things that I'm expecting anyone to risk their jobs over, right? And it's not one of those things that they can help. But I do think it is totally in everyone's right to be still angry about that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Not towards CD, not to comment under CD stuff and be like, "Oi, dickheads, where's my Spider-Man?" or anything like that.
Sure.
But got to be a conversation there a little bit of explaining, look, because if he's coming out with the movie and you release him with the film in December, that's
Mm.
the worst early 2021 I've ever seen in my
Well,
entire
and
life.
that's a great point because, like, when you go to the blog and the blog says early 2021, you could have done a formal announcement. Like, Sony could have done a formal announcement. They could have worked out something where it's like, hey, guys, like, unfortunately, due to, like, these issues that have stemmed from production, we have to delay Spider Man, but here's, like, a bone we're going to fucking throw you. And there wasn't even that. Like, there's been no bone thrown for anyone who bought the game under the pretense of Spider Man coming 2021. And it's like, really? Really? Like, and like that's where the point that's the part where I'm just wondering like what the fuck is going on with Spider-Man. And I've heard some things, Spider-Man this year obviously and whatever else, but like like it gets to the point where you start asking the questions of like why is this taking so long to even see what he looks like,
That's another thing that's annoying me as well is that again it's like for people that for example, I remember one of the conversations being there was so much room between the war table for Clint and his release.
Right.
Imagine how people feel who are waiting for fucking Spider-Man. We got a
Right.
blog. We didn't even get to see what he looked like. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing is that if you show his costume off, if
Mhm.
you show something, at least fans can have a little bit of a taster. At least people can know that you're doing right by that character.
Mhm.
How is he going to look? Are you not going to CD him up and try and make your own look because he's an exclusive? Or are you going to are you going to stick him to form and stuff like that? Or are you going to like mix up the costume? Because we should know that because Spider-Man's outfit is one of the most, it's a surprisingly big conversation on Twitter, right? That's something
Yeah.
that they need to nail. There's a lot of like sensitive Spider-Man fans out there that will
Mhm.
moan about the face, that will moan about the voice, that will moan about the suit, that will moan about the
Yeah.
backstory. You experienced that on Twitter when you made a joke about him being a fucking Inhuman.
He's going
Like,
to be Inhuman. Hell yeah, he
and
is.
Uncle Ben dies in A-Day, mate.
Yeah, Uncle Ben dies in 8. Yeah, I can't. Dude, that whole situation was so funny to me. I've never experienced getting brigaded like that, but like to be honest with you, pissing off Spider-Man Twitter is like the highlight of like my streamer career. To be honest with you, that was great. That was
This
really great.
So, not just that either. There's one thing that I'm really curious in. I want to know what chat thinks about this. So, we've all said that there's most likely going to be a roadmap update in the war table, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Spider-Man naturally will be a part of that roadmap. He has to be. If he's this year, he has to be a part of that roadmap.
Sure.
Now, does that force, because obviously we're saying Sony holds the cards, does that force people to be like Sony? Does that force them to release something first? So are we expect to see anything before the War Table
Could
Day,
release the
or
same
is it gonna
could release the same day, like
like a little blog?
hypothetically, yeah, you could be a blog, and then you get, because what they've done before is that they've done like their kind of videos or reveals or whatever, and then later on they do a blog, so they could have something timed with Sony where it's like, here's like kind of like his spot on the roadmap, if theoretically that is the case. And then like after that's all done, Sony has like a blog post time to release to give more information. Could do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just it's one of those really weird sort of things where there's so many hands in this cookie jar that you just don't know
Yeah.
who's owning it. If you know what I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's. I feel really bad for CD being in this situation where there's just so many people banging on their door, but they can't give an answer because it's Sony and Sony don't give a fuck about the game's marketing. They don't give a fuck how they deal with it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, here's this deal, that's it.
Yeah.
We don't care how
Sure.
you do it otherwise.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's just not like Sony's gonna tease it in, not like Sony's gonna go to CD like every month and be like, so how's Spider-Man doing, so we can put some out on a blog and tease it.
I mean, like, to be fair, like, I think they do. I think they do have a vested interest, because, like, say for example, the better Avengers does, the better their chances are of making like a buttload of money for all the people who buy the game, play it on PlayStation, and buy Spider-Man stuff, right? Like, if you have a great, successful, healthy game, releasing Spider-Man on that great, successful, healthy game implies that there's more money to be made. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that. I just think that, like, they've got so much as is, and obviously the general, you know, Avengers aura. Not right now. I feel like we're getting to a better place, but that's literally like, it's been like a week. Do you know what I mean? Where people have felt quite
Sure.
excited. So
Yeah.
to take a step, you know what I mean? And through that, I imagine that a lot of the Sony people were like, see, so before this week, I had this idea with Spider-Man that it would literally be a case of just he'll be when he'll be, because they don't give a fuck anymore, right? Because they've seen their reputation and stuff like that. However, now, I just don't know. I just don't know at this stage what they want to do, because it
Right.
makes sense to put him near the movie, but again, 2021, like that's that's a very not
Maybe
2021,
maybe
2021, you know what I mean?
maybe as like a sorry that we suck at timing these things and we never communicated Spider-Man being delayed, we'll get an MCU caution free. I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that. Give me that new No Way Home suit that I seen off a lot of this merchandise, right, Suki? And just give me that for free, and I'll feel all right,
I do find it weird that PlayStation advertising a War Table for once. Yeah, I think the last time they did that was when they had beta benefits, if I remember right.
I don't know. I forget.
I don't know.
My memory
we'll
only
have to
goes
look
back.
into.
My memory only goes back so far. So for me, I've already missed out on that. Okay, so I think that's it for Spider-Man talk. I think we just needed to get you a platform to vent your frustrations. Do you feel better about that?
I mean, I'll be honest, I won't until this
Mm-hmm.
fucking War Table. All right, okay, if it's not in the War Table, because I'm gonna live react to that War Table just as much as
Gonna
every
live
other
react
single
to that war
YouTuber.
table. Okay, yeah.
Every single YouTuber streamer's
I'm
gonna
not.
do anyway.
There's gonna be nothing there. I'm not.
If this
No.
if this is no fucking Spider-Man, if there's no mention, if he's not on a roadmap, if he's not, I will literally throw myself out of the window in front of people. My
Like,
webcam is aimed
how how
at my
how
window.
how high is your window before I endorse this? Like, is it like
I
6
live-
feet?
No, I live on the bottom floor.
Oh, so it's not even gonna hurt you that much if you throw yourself out of the window. Oh, it's whatever. It's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just fall into some bushes, give myself a boo-boo.
Yeah, that's nothing then. All right. I thought there was more to that, so that's fine. No worries. Okay. So I think we're done Spider-Man. We're done Spider-Man, right? Do you have
Yes.
anything else? Do you have anything else you would like to say before we move on from Spider-Man?
No, I'm okay.
No?
Oh,
You're
wait,
okay?
no, wait,
Mm.
no, wait. One suit that they have to have, and if they
Yes.
don't, then
Yes.
I'll cry.
Uh-huh.
Is I want the classic symbiote suit. All right,
We
none of
don't even
this
know if we're getting
fucking
this character anymore, and you're out here saying,
none of this black recolor of his iconic and call it a symbiote. No. I want the full on black symbiote suit with the purple tint round it, ultimate style. I swear down, mate. All right, that's it. That or
that
nothing. Okay.
that or nothing. Okay. All right. Well, wonderful. That's really good. Okay, let's get into the OLT now, because I think the OLT is something that should be talked about, right? Because now we have some time. I think most of us here have at least gone through it once, including Chad, obviously. So let's kind of just start talking about this, because I feel like there's a lot of great feedback I've seen over the past week with regards to the difficulty, the boss fight, the random AoE crap that throws itself in the boss fight. The time beforehand, I saw some great feedback last night on the Warbot and how the Warbot should be dropping loot. That was really good feedback. So obviously, as someone who has really good gear, Stardust, what do you feel about the OLT from start to finish, starting all the way at the beginning to all the way to the Super Adaptoid boss fight?
So obviously, I did a review on this, and my review was very confusing because mine was a complete first impression of the day we played it together at first, right? So
Yes.
so I'll go through that experience. So obviously, I was really enjoying it. I was a bit shocked about the 1 minute timer. I definitely thought that wasn't going to be
Right.
the case here. Like, I thought it was going to be like 30 minutes, like we mentioned, but like at the same time.
Mhm.
I like that. It made people, oh, I'll go pick up time. I'll fight these enemies. I'll do this. I'll do that. Um, and what ended up happening was, it was really fun, to be honest. Like, I just enjoyed it. And then we got to the boss fight and we absolutely melted it
Mhm.
in like 2 seconds. And then we didn't get the rewards for it because obviously on the first day the rewards were a bit dodgy for a little bit.
Right.
So first impression was pretty like mid. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that was
Yep.
really mid.
Yes.
So like, but then obviously the more we've gotten to play it, the more we got to fight like the hard super adaptoid version and stuff like that. I do think that like, I feel like there should be rewards like exotics all the time with this mission,
Right.
honestly, or like a very high chance. Because
Mhm.
like I was watching you the other day spend like 3 hours on it with a group of people,
Yeah.
and it's like, imagine finally being able to do that. Like, and imagine me and you
Mhm.
doing the cap stuff
Yep.
and then being given no rewards. If we weren't
Yep.
psychotic, we would be so upset by that.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree, and I think
Like,
that's one of the biggest things is that, like, I said this in my video too, that the streamer experience transcends the game experience. So like my experience is kind of just playing with people from chat. But for anybody from chat, their experience is that just running the game, which is where the game kind of fails in that regard, right? And which is why we've seen them also now kind of make some changes coming this week, right? To obviously the reward structure 3 times per week. But at this point, obviously you got to start looking at it from a player's perspective and not from a streamer's perspective, which is every run should have some sort of reward that matters to the time you spend. An ISO 8 and 10 upgrade modules, kind of garbage. And I've said this, like, I've said this in my video, I've said this in streams. I said that reward structure is kind of garbage. And I think overall that's the part that very underwhelms, because for anyone who goes in with a group and struggles, like you said, you spend all that time struggling, and then if it's not your first time per week, you come out of that going, wow, I really did that,
yeah, for a blue ISO 8, like
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah,
That's it,
exactly.
and some upgrade modules. I think the thing is that I understand, like, for the really top, like, you're worried about the top tier players, right? And you're worried
Hmm.
about going into the Omega level threat and them just annihilating it constantly, getting exotics galore. But from what I can see, the perks are very random, right? So like
Yeah.
my Omega reactor, I have 2 Omega reactors, and the stats are different and the perks are different for
Hmm.
my Iron Man. So if all these exotics have random drops of stats, random perks,
Yep.
why not make them like
Yep. Because
endless?
yeah, because the
Like,
time it
so I have
takes.
a Exactly. I have a
Yeah.
might and resolve piece for Iron Man. Now
Hmm.
he's precision, so that's a waste, and I've just wasted a week.
Yep.
So in my mind, it just doesn't really make any sense to sort of lock people behind that, And if people get god rolls, okay, it's
Yeah.
PVE. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's better than people safe scumming. Like,
Well,
and that's
and that's exactly it, right? Like, I think I've touched on this like pretty publicly recently, where I said like the biggest mistake that Avengers has made before the game even launched was local saves, and then not expanding on a gear re-rolling system before the game came out, because like with time gating with no gear re-roll system, and then with local saves, you're incentivizing this behavior of save scumming, right? People look outside of your game for mechanics that your game should actually have in the first place, and that's where the game has actually failed. And we're seeing this more and more and more, especially now with people save scumming the OLT. It's just like it just becomes like this whole big problem that's now coming to the forefront with this end game content. You just gotta like ask yourself, like, this probably wasn't intended behavior, but because of the decisions that have been made, this is now the intended behavior, you know?
for sure. Yeah, the thing is that, like, even when we get the really easy ones, it's
Hmm.
not like it's not like it's still,
It's
a
still a time
walk in the park.
investment.
There's
Yeah.
still a lot you have to do. It still takes a while. Like, it's if you're having a really, really, really easy run for some reason, then, like, say the boss fight's really easy, right? That's like 35 minutes
Yep.
right there anyway. And
Yep.
that's if all your team is relatively strong. That's if people in your
Hmm.
team don't die. Like, this is if you've got like four like seasoned players with
Yep.
good builds and survivability and stuff like that. So like, without that, you could be playing for hours and hours and hours, like,
Yep.
me and you have done when it was just us two or whatever.
Hmm.
So that deserves a reward completely. So yeah, no, I definitely think that the three hero one is good. I get that it's an incentive, and War for Wakanda is probably gonna, like,
You know,
after the slot, maybe make it permanent thing.
well, you know what, man? I think based off, so you know how I said I think I said after all the information came out, I said in the meeting they were talking about changing up their rituals, right? One per hero, I guess, right? So you have each of your things per hero that you can do on a weekly basis. I don't think that's
Yeah.
coming with Wakanda anymore, based off what I'm seeing now. You know, because like it seems like they made that change as kind of like a stopgap solution, and it seems like that actual solution itself of one per hero is probably a little bit later down the line. I could be wrong, but I'm looking at that saying like the way it's kind of structured to go all the way through to September, maybe that's not as close as we may think it is.
That's possible. I mean, okay, so it ends on like September 5th, right? So that's interesting because that's a day after the anniversary.
Right. Which I would expect an anniversary patch.
So well, yeah, so that'll be like the anniversary patch will be the thing. You get the yeah, but why the 5th though?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a good question. I mean, the 5th, like September 5th, is that when it ends? That's the Sunday. That's weird. Yeah. I
That
don't
is
know.
weird, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand that they're not going to be working weekends, but like
Mm-hmm.
maybe that following Tuesday they'll drop labs, and yeah, no.
Be
I like
interesting.
the way they do these things though. You know how they stretch, like, oh, we'll start this here and then it ends here, because it's kind of like we get to speculate, and it kind of gives us an indicator when shit's gonna come out.
True. Yeah.
So if
I
they're
mean,
not
you
allowed to
say that,
fully
but like
tell us,
you say that, but like we all speculated War for Wakanda is gonna be after Tachyon, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Tachyon is gonna run alongside it, right? So
wait, is
am I
it?
right on that? Is
No,
when does Tachyon end?
I think
Am
it
I
ends on the.
wrong?
I think it. No, wait. I think. Well, mate, wait.
Am I
Hold
wrong?
on.
Hold on, chat.
Hold,
I'm not wrong.
you are wrong. Shut up,
I'm not wrong. I'm not
bro.
wrong. I'm not wrong. Oh, for 2 weeks. Never mind. I am wrong. Shh.
Ha, you
Shh.
dopey fuck.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I mean, to your point, it is a good indicator of when things are coming, right? So, Tachyon is 9 days left. Ooh, I am wrong. That's hurtful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, the 12, and then 17th.
And
Yeah,
then next
it's
week, and
pretty
then
good. It's pretty
16th
good.
is.
Yeah,
So there you
pretty,
go. So it's the following week, you know.
yeah. Anyways, I've had my one fail for the video or the stream, so we're gonna move on from that.
I'm just waiting for Tony Bing to come in to correct you again.
Correct me if
Like,
I'm.
so you get
Yeah,
around
yeah.
to it.
That's great. I really can do without that. I just don't want to. I'm really tired of looking stupid in here. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where I'm just really tired of it. Okay, so real quick, if there's one thing you could change about the OLT as is, so you have the hand of God, and you can come down, you can change one thing about the OLT. What would it be?
So I actually spoke about this with you. I don't know if we were playing or not, and I don't think this was on stream, so we probably weren't because you only used me for clout. So, I think, I think it was the clones.
Yes.
They should drop. Oh no, wait! I think I told Calix this. Oh, I'm all confused. I forget my friends. Sorry. I think the clones should drop Tachyon legendary gear.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So obviously the drop rate for rewards anyway is a
Mm-hmm.
lot lower since the gear changes, and obviously there's not that many clones, right?
Right.
You so it's sort of like okay, I can completely DPS check the main adaptoid, or I can focus on the clones and maybe get some really sick Tachyon related gear. I think that would be a good thing. So if you're not going to change it so that we can just keep getting exotics and stuff like that, make it so that the final boss can drop stuff that could be like really quality. So the
Mm.
clones drop like legendary tachyon pieces and stuff like that. What do you think about that?
That's actually an interesting idea because makes you have a choice, you know. But how many people? I don't know, man. Because like, how many people would want to do that? And like, I'm genuinely asking because like, you're subjecting yourself to like, depending on the group that you're running with, just a bunch of more crazy, behavior that maybe you can't account for and like you playing, right? To me, I would probably do it. Like if I had a group and I was like, either we can burn this down or maybe get the legendaries, depending on the
Yeah.
character I'm playing.
Mm. The thing is, as well, is that like for most people, you have to take down the clones anyway. Like, how many
True.
times have me and you slash when you play is like, right, we'll focus on this clone in front of me and stuff like that. Like, wouldn't that be kind of nice to see a
No, true.
legendary like tachyon piece pop from underneath? I think that
No,
would be really sick. Also, if you're gonna
yes.
drop tachyon legendary gear, this is something off the top of my head now. I want the light up, the beam that shoots up from gear to be totally different for a tachyon one. I want it to have swirling like tachyon pieces.
Oh, I mean that's interesting. It's not really something I thought you'd say, but that's kind of okay. That's an interesting one.
So it's kind of like it drops and then it like like the orb effect of the
Yes.
tachyon thing, but like
Yes.
swirls around it like that. That'd be pretty cool.
That's cool. That's like different gear sets or different gear pieces have like different effects on the light, so you know exactly what you're picking up. Maybe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
I kind of like
Tony.
that. Okay, I kind of like that. All right,
Yeah. Okay.
all right,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
okay. For me, honestly, if I had to change one thing about the whole mission itself would probably be the length of it. I think if you start it right after the super adapt, like no, sorry, not after the super adaptoid. If you start it right after the warbot, I think that's a pretty good length, right? So like you start it after the warbot, which means you have to unlock the bunker. You still have to do all the numbers, and then you have the super adaptoid fight. So it takes it from like a 30 to 45 mission to like a 20 to 25 mission. I think that's a good length. I think right now it's a lot of time being spent doing nothing, if you know what I mean, right? Like you do it over and over and over again.
Oh,
You don't think the
I
early
don't
parts of it
know.
is like a lot of doing nothing, like all the prisoner
I don't
bullshit.
think. Yeah, no, I don't think we need to do the prisoner
Mm.
bullshit. I do like the fact we had to fight two bosses, though. I think keep the war bot in. I think if you do it so that it's like you spawn literally. So okay. So before you run around the corner and you have that little area where the turrets come out of like the semicircle bit. So after you kill that enemy squad, after you do the prisoners, remember what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'd load straight after that. So then you fight the warbot. So that's another big warbot. Which kicks off the mission. So big boss to start. Then you have a bit of a slowdown doing the vault bollocks. and then big fight to end it.
But like the only problem with the warbot is it's not rewarding, right? So like I said, the feedback I saw yesterday was like make the warbot drop items, right? So if the warbot drops items, then keep that in. But right now the warbot is just basically there to kind of just, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't do anything. Like
Well, the
there's
warbot should spit loot like the
yeah,
goblin does, like the
I
loot
agree.
goblin.
Yeah, I 100%
The
agree.
piñata.
And then if you do that, then I would keep the warbot in. But if like right now I had to make one change, it's like I just don't want to fight the warbot. It just doesn't do anything. It's like it just sucks the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that like maybe because Parker made a good point in chat, and I kind of like this idea: is make two different missions, make it just the boss fight and get one exotic, and make the whole mission with more exotics. So that could be a thing. So if
Mm.
you make it like, but then the problem is like people will just say, oh, you've recycled, but you've already got to make another mission on the
Yeah.
war table. You know what I mean? Like it's a bit. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's ways to do it. There's probably ways to do it. What do you think about having two different difficulties? So, one of the things I said was that two different difficulties would probably help a lot of the discrepancy between groups of players, right? So, like, right now we see like the end game players just like literally burn through this, like absolutely burn through this. And then we see groups that are still struggling, right? So, what would you think about 155 and like 165, if not 170, as like two different difficulties?
Um,
So like every
I think
OLT would
that'd be
have, yeah. Sorry. So just to clarify for people in chat, like every OLT would have two different difficulties for like the two groups of players.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea, to be honest. I like the sound of that you've got like this really mental difficulty, but it should reward more though. Like to
Sure. Yeah.
me, like I feel like if you do the super difficult one once a week, you should get one exotic for each of your team.
Oh, interesting.
Like, you know,
Like
similar to like an event thing, you know, where like you get like a piece for every single hero you've got that's over like the
120, I think it is.
threshold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
you could
interesting.
do it like that. So you could make it so you've got the easy version. It gives you the one, right? If you're gonna stick to something like that, make it the one. And then if you do the super hard one, you get a piece for every single team member. Because again, it's all such RNG that you really can chuck that loot all over the place, and it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, I think I would agree. Like another difficulty with higher rewards, and I think players would probably be okay with that. You know what I mean? Because like, for example, you take me, you, Sonic, and Bull. Instead of burning it down in 24 seconds or whatever it was, like there's actually a little bit more difficulty there. And I mean, like you still have like a Thor and a Hawkeye and like a Miss Marvel, and you're still gonna, relatively, be quick, but there's still more chance that like a fuck up here and a fuck up there, and now you actually are in that boss fight instead of like what you're getting now. And that's not to say like you probably still want to have some of the cheeses that you've seen or some of the crazy times you'd have now, but like they have to earn it more.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. If you're wondering why I'm typing, by the way, I just got a bit of news, but that's all I'm going to say about that for now.
No, no, no,
But
no, no,
right,
no, no,
so
no, 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 no. If you have news,
no, I'm not gonna say. I can't say it yet. I can't say it yet.
okay, when can
Don't
you
worry
say
about
it?
it.
Like, do we do? Okay, no, no, no. Wait a second. Hold on, because I get this shit from people do this shit to me, right? Like, what was it last time? What was it last time you guys fucking drilled me for news? Okay, is it Spider Man?
No, not Spider-Man. No,
Okay, is it
no.
Wakanda?
I fucking wish it. No. It's my me stuff. God, you guys like.
Oh, whatever, dude. Like, don't say
It's
that then. Like, don't.
it's community voices stuff. Don't worry about it.
Oh God, I thought you had like actual like breaking news. Like
It
I
is
thought
breaking news. Are you mad?
like breaking news for you, but like not breaking news with relation to like the game. Like
I fuck
what?
who said it was game news?
I don't know, dude. When you're like, I have news. What do you think people are like? If I said right now, if I was like, guys, I got fucking news, man. Like people are gonna assume it's about the game. They're not gonna be like, And then I turn around and be like, yo, guys, listen,
All right. How about I just tell the news? How about just say
please,
the
yeah,
news?
please, please, please.
All right. So not only do I have Phil and Andy on
If you
the
have
Community
Scott Amos,
Voices
I'm coming in.
episode.
If you have Scott Amos, I'm in. 100%. I'm in.
Sorry, mate. It's Scott Amos. I'm sorry. No,
Do
it's
you
not really.
actually? Oh,
No. It's I've also got Calix and Sonic photo doing a
Oh,
mod
that's cool.
chat, stuff
Wait,
like that. Do you know what I
you're
mean?
wait, they're modding chat. Wait, what?
No, you dickhead. Like, I'm getting the mods in. Avengers mods.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Boys.
okay, okay. All right, dude. All right, damn. All right. No,
Calyx and Sonic.
so it's not Scott Amos.
It's not Scott. Well, I mean, it's two people that are like,
I don't disagree, but Scott Amos is Scott Amos. I always said if you got Scott Amos, I'm in. I got a lot to
Oh,
say to that man. A lot to say.
all right, look, listen.
Yeah,
Okay, how about
yeah.
Calyx Sonic? Listen to me, right? How about can I trade you two out for Scott Amos?
Please, please. I'll pay them. 100%. I'll open
How
up the piggy
about
bank.
yeah, exactly. I'll morph you both together as one person,
I don't
and
think that's
you
how
go and
that
battle the
works.
dragon in front of Scott Amos's chambers and get him. How
That's
about
one way to
that?
put it. That's one way. No, that's exciting though. That's exciting. It's not Spider-Man. It's not Wakanda News. It's not Scott Amos. But
You know what, Calyx Sonic? I'm so fucking sorry. All right, I'm sorry that for some reason you're just not good enough. Right? I'm sorry that I had to have fucking Avengers
Mm.
news to actually like
I'm sorry, dude. I just thought you had
matter.
Avengers news.
Holy
Like,
shit. Sorry, guys. Sorry, don't worry
mm,
about it. I'd unsubscribe from Hyrule if I were you two. That's kind of crazy.
that's crazy. All right. I mean, if I had news, I would share it with the people. If I had Avengers news, I would share it. That's just the kind of guy I am. Okay. So OLT stuff. I think we're good there, right? OLT. I think we're pretty well done with that topic. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're pretty well done.
Yeah, I think there's
Pretty well
like I
done.
think there's like
Oh,
yes.
sorry, really quick.
Mm,
Suki put in chat we were promised Avengers hater. That's because they're
a pussy,
uh
and we're moving on.
yeah, there you go. They're a pussy. That's
They're a
why.
pussy. Okay, so I think now we got to talk about all the Black Panther stuff that has come out. So last week we had basically like everything. We had the War Table announcement, we had the release date announcement, we had a bunch of kind of costumes shown. Like there was a lot there shown about Black Panther, and like where do you want to start? Because like you could talk about the War Table, and you could talk about all the speculation that has been tied into the War Table, right? Oh, and the animated video today. That's true too. Like we got the animated video today, right? So I think we just start chronologically, which is like the announcement, and then we'll just move from the War Table to the release date to the costumes, and then we'll do the animated video. You just want to do that?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it in order. It makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. So we have the War Table on the 16th, and one of the things that I've seen a lot of speculation on is like if there's anything else being tied into it, like it is kind of, based off a lot of their schedules previous, it is kind of weird to do a day before. Do you make that of anything? Like, do you think it's like weird, or do you just view it as like they've taken the feedback from like War Table to release date has been too long, and then they just kind of smushed it together into a 2-day period?
So I saw that people were obviously mentioning that, like, obviously the feedback from Clint's was that it was too long apart. Then this
Mm-hmm.
one is like too short. But then I get it because this is an expansion. This is a really big marketing push, and you're doing
Mm-hmm.
it on the final day, which is really, really weird.
Mm-hmm.
But us as gamers, and us as like gamers, and us as like consumers, we have incredibly short attention span. So
Yes.
realistically, we see something and we get hyped for it in a
Mm-hmm.
bundle.
Yeah.
We want it. We want to do it there and then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that approach works for a lot of things. Apex Legends beat Fortnite for a little bit because it did the approach of like, okay, it's out, go. And I know that's the different, but you hype it up and then it's literally one sleep. Like people will be excited. They won't even think about what could go wrong with it. They won't even think about how the game may have burnt them in the past. It's all hype, hype, hype. So
Right.
it's a good theory for current players. For newer players, maybe not so much. But potentially it could be a pressuring thing for new players looking at that to be, fuck, I need to buy the game. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And then
Mm.
like panic buy it because Wakanda's tomorrow, right? So if they
Sure.
look at that war table and it giving you, it will have this, but quality combat, they love the look of it for newer people looking in, and they're like,
Hmm.
shit, I need to buy that before it comes out tomorrow. Mum, where's your credit card? You know what I mean? And stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
So I think that's kind of the theory behind it, but I do understand people that are a bit like, this is a full on expansion, and you're leaving the war table like
To
that
the
far
last
away, and
day,
this is
yeah.
but it's not a deep dive, and this is why I think people are interested, because to me, this is a perfect war table to show your hand to the newer players that War for Wakanda isn't the end, right? It's
Right.
not like we've put all our eggs into this one basket and it's over. Like, and this is why I think it's almost a guarantee we're going to see that roadmap. Let people know what's going to happen after the fact.
Okay. I want to pick your brain on this. So,
Oh
how
no.
about you give me the war table breakdown of what you think it's gonna hold on. Hold on. We have
Oh.
Tice. Hold on. We gotta answer this. Tice with
Okay.
the 5 super chat asks us, do you guys think we'll see MCU outfits for characters other than Black Panther and War for Wakanda? We can talk about that once we get to the costumes. My answer is probably not. We'll talk about it though. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
so really quick, give me your potential war table for the 16th.
I think we'll get another Wakanda trailer.
Yep.
Sort of similar to Content Assembled, because you got to remember there's probably going to be a lot of like casuals eyes on this as well.
Sure.
So you get that. You're
Yep.
going to get I don't know if we'll get this before, but I think we'll get a miniature deep dive of Panther, like just showing off his stuff in a more flashier way rather than it be like dev stream style, with the animations and that.
Okay.
I think we'll get new, like the big reveal of the raid, the big OT raid thing.
Right, the Wakanda. I think it's the mines, right? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, that okay, and then we'll get the roadmap, and then that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Maybe well, no. Maybe how Square Enix Presents zoomed in and showed us little bits and bobs when they showed their roadmap,
Yeah.
the first one. I think we'll get something like that. So very miniature clips of everything that they've got that
Okay.
can be shown. You know what I mean?
But that's
and
weird
that's
because
it.
like
There you
Phil
go.
has said like the next roadmap would cover a year.
Yeah, so they can still show the little very
Oh, so you're
snippets of
saying
stuff that's the
so
rest of the year, but then they can show off like the
no, but
next
like
chunk. Like
when he said a year, he made it seem like 12 months a year, not like till 2022
no, yeah,
year. Yeah.
it can still be that. It can still be
Okay.
that. But like
Okay.
from August to December, they have it, in some sort of position where they can show like a couple of like a minute or whatever. Then you do
Mm,
that, you zoom in, oh, there's that shit like that.
right.
There you go. There you go, man.
Um, okay. I'm gonna try and dance around this conversation as best as I can. For the roadmap, and this doesn't mean I know lots of information before anyone starts fucking harassing me in the DMs. Basically, I think you'll see another character this year. You'll see Spider-Man this year. You'll see some sort of Spider-Man announcement this year. You'll kind of get information on Cloney Labs, which I do intend to see in September. You'll probably get patrol mode this year in terms of like late 2021. And this will probably all be shown on the 16th. I'm just trying to think, what else do I expect to see? Like Black Panther trailer, right? Some more information on Wakanda itself, the locale and stuff like that, showing like a lot of these cool places they've kind of teased about. I would imagine you'll see, like I said, another character for this year. You'll see some sort of Spider-Man news. Cloning Labs, maybe the MODOK. We also kind of have left the MODOK kind of voice line somewhere. You know what I mean? You don't remember those, do you, or do you?
I do remember, yeah, about the
Yeah.
clones and like the villain sector sounding
All,
voice
all,
line
all
and
I'm
that.
gonna say to Calix is that could confirm me that I don't know. I received an interesting DM last night, and it's hard for me to parse that DM without kind of, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Um, what else? Patrol mode more than likely. I think patrol mode's been pushed back probably to November. I would have to think. I don't know. I think we'll definitely get a bit of information about a lot of the stuff people have been asking about. You know what I mean? I think I think
Mm.
I think the Wakanda OLT. I think the Wakanda OLT is something that I think they'll tip their hand to, but I think it's one of those things where they probably won't want to show too much of it because like I don't know how comfortable they are going to be talking about another OLT when we're still waiting on cloning labs. You know what I mean?
I think that's it. Like, you don't want to sort of show off this big massive thing, and then the tone of the OOTs gets dropped to cloning labs to then back up
Yeah.
again, and it's like you've got to re-hype people for it again. So you're probably right with that. That's probably a good point. I mean, a lot of these like little extra bits, like the OOT with Wakanda, can be done in trailers just on their YouTube channel, similar to
Yeah.
what they've done with Super Adaptoid and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean like yeah, I mean like I definitely think it'll be I know Jazzy had asked a question. I think we could touch on it here. Because this is a part of the roadmap conversation. And Jazzy asked how many characters we should see per year. I would probably bet without Spider-Man, what would we have? 4. I think 4 characters per year is probably a good bet. And then Spider-Man being like the rare 5th one. I think that's probably a solid bet, to
I
be honest with you.
I think something for people to remember as well is
Mm.
that like Spider-Man is a character that they have to do, and it's one that they have to get through for the contracts and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
next year, when they don't have exclusive characters to work on, when they don't have contracts to meet, these heroes can not only be like smoother, if I
Mm.
should say, probably a better
Sure.
timeline, but
Sure.
like it should be all good. So if we do get another hero this year, and it is like say we get 5, including Spider-Man,
Yeah.
with that logic, we could
Mhm.
expect 5. No, just one that isn't exclusive anymore.
Logically speaking, yes, logically speaking, but I think 4 is safer. Like I think if you do 4, so that's 3 operations and 1 expansion, I think that's probably a safer bet because then you could tie in, then you could do more with those resources that technically would be tied up, right? I think if you do 5, you might be spreading yourself too thin, which I think might be the case now with Spider-Man, you know?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, like a lot of
But
a
you're
lot of
not
the
wrong.
stuff
Like
we're
you're
complaining
not
about is
wrong. Like
probably like
you're looking at it from like a you're looking at it from a perspective of like what is the best case scenario. I'm just looking at it from like a perspective of like what is more doable. You know what I mean?
I mean, realistically, we've expected that this Spider-Man deal was very much a last minute smack money on the table. Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Shit, okay. Like, oh, and they're fucking working their asses off for it. So I totally get that. Like, 5's probably too much.
Mhm.
But obviously to people who are, not inside the circle that we've got,
Mhm.
they've probably, to their mind, and they're right to feel this way, is a bit like, so shouldn't we have 5? Like, they
Yeah.
managed to do Spider-Man, what the fuck? And I get that. Like, if the roadmap only reveals like, so say it is September to September, and we only see Spider-Man and like
Right.
another hero, and then maybe like another one, but quite far away. I feel like people are gonna be a bit down about that. But
Mm.
as long as the in-between bits really pack a punch, I think that's
Yeah.
important. Because we
And
mentioned, I think we spoke about that. Like, I would love to see more character focus,
yeah.
and then content focus, and then the expansion works with both.
Yep.
So hopefully they've done that, but I mean, obviously I don't know.
Right. Just gonna answer a question here. If we do get one this year, who do you expect it to be? Either Bucky or She-Hulk. One of the two.
I think
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
just based off everything I know. It's gonna be one of those two. Um, okay. So I think that's it for the roadmap. And then we get the release date of the 17th. That was earlier than I expected. You know what I mean? Like to me, I expected it the last week of August, just like many other people would, right? Like I was telling people like expected the last week of August, but if it's before then, you're in the gravy at that point, right? And then they throw down the 17th, which is like way sooner than I expected, right? I could have seen the 24th. I realistically saw the 31st, but like the 17th was just kind of thrown out there and I was totally taken back. What did you think about the 17th as a release date?
I mean, I was pretty shocked by it. I
Mm,
was sort of like, I kind of had, because obviously people have that sort of expectation that like, the war table, and then the release date comes with the war table. So I was more
yeah.
shocked to the fact, because I remember I was watching Revealing at the time, and someone went into his chat and said, "Oh, the war table's just been revealed for the 16th," and he didn't mention like the actual expansion. So I was
Right.
like, "Oh shit, where's that?" So I went and go looking, and then I was like, "Wait." Wait, what? The 17th? Wait, hold up. And obviously I go and have a look in and I realize, and I'm just, I mean, I was more shocked that those two were announced together. Like, you'd think that the normal logical marketing strat is announce war table for here,
Right.
release date there, then obviously it comes out here.
Mm,
Instead of it's pretty cool. Like, I like being taken by surprise like that. I like it when, even though it might not make sense, I kind of like being surprised with like
right.
really strange strategies and stuff like that. But obviously I know that people who are into like marketing and stuff like that are probably shaking their fists at that. But for me, it's fun, isn't it? Like, it's kind of fun. Like, it's like, oh, you risky devils doing something like that. Oh,
Right. And yeah, I mean, like, I think it's good. Like, I know a lot of people were like super kind of worried because like they were thinking like maybe those extra 2 weeks or extra week realistically is like really good for them to kind of like get that work done. And it's like if it's ready, it's ready. You know what I mean? Like they seemingly, if you guys remember all that time ago, they seemingly had something to show off. You know, obviously. Is it the same thing that they've obviously worked on over this past like year? Probably not. They probably have changed things here and there, but realistically, they did have something to show. So I'm totally okay with the 17th as a release date. I think it's going to be totally fine. I think it's going to be, obviously every time we get to an expand or not an expansion, but a content release, there's obviously some bits and bobs that are kind of glitchy. But overall, I think if they're confident on the 17th, I'm confident in their confidence, and I think that's the best way to put it. You know what I mean?
I've said that even though people can be incredibly excited, and I am as well, but the amount of times that something has been released and it has had a problem with it straight off the bat,
Mm,
me personally, running straight in, there's like, in my mind, there's like a 50-50 chance that something's going to happen and you're going to get burnt
right.
straight away. And then, like, because bless them, they work through it quickly, they get it
Yeah.
fixed quickly, make no mistake about that one. But,
Mm,
like, it's probably, for me, I said on my review of Omega Level Threats, it's probably best to wait like an hour or two before having the
yeah.
ideal experience, or like maybe half a day or something before you can be like, okay, now it's fine. Now it's ready.
Right. And well, and that's the thing too, right? But I mean, like, I would have to think there's a certain amount of care being put into this expansion that, the rule may not be that, whereas like this should be good to go. Now, I could totally eat my put my foot in my mouth on the 17th, but like I would like to think with how important this is that like it'll be get up and go, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I want to just like point out something in chat as well, that someone was like, "There's 100% chance there will be bugs, guys." Like, what
Mm.
I mean by bugs is there's obviously going to be, little quirks and stuff like that. But I mean, like, for example, obviously the Omega level threats didn't drop
Oh, yeah.
exotics to begin with. Obviously with the IP issue with the Cosmic Cube.
Like
Red Rim was obviously.
I think the difference is like the severity of bugs, right? Like say for example,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
comparing like the progression of your rewards of the OLT versus like Thor's cape is clipping. Like the severity
yeah,
is
for sure.
different there. Sure.
So obviously if it impacts your experience is what I mean by that. So like,
Mm.
obviously if that's reward based, if that's just something severe, like not letting you play it based, if it's just something that impacts your game rather than just a clipping cape like you mentioned. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So since we're doing everything in like chronological order, I think we should probably talk about the All Access weekend then, just really quickly, because I think part of that, part of everything going on was that All Access weekend brought a bunch of new players to the game. I saw a lot of good feedback on the Reddit from new players, both good and bad. Like I saw a lot of people say like, this game it was being trashed on, and like I was totally wrong about it. I saw posts saying like, this game still needs a ways to go. But I think a lot of what we saw this weekend was just getting people in the door, which I think is really good. Did you get any, experience talking to anyone with new on the game? Like, what did you think of the All Access weekend? You can go into a little bit of like the streamer part too, which we can get into, but what did you think about running events like this where it's all access, free to play, and just kind of getting those new players in the door?
Well, I think it's a really good idea. Like, this has been the first time where I've seen probably more positivity than negativity when I've been on Twitter and stuff like that, which is mental. Like, as someone who's been with the game from the start, I never thought I'd be able to go on Twitter and see positivity about the game, which is
Hmm.
mental, right?
Yeah.
So to have it like that, and then people obviously, like, you see the Steam numbers rise up and stuff like that. It's a cool thing. It's like watching your own child grow up. It's like, yes, you smash it, lad. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, so, but obviously I tried to get some of my own friends into the game, and my friend Tom played the campaign for a little bit with he, by the way,
Yes.
doesn't care for Marvel, doesn't care for superheroes.
Okay.
So this really, I really had a task here.
Right.
Like, but he seemed to enjoy himself. He seemed to like playing as the Hulk. He seemed
Hmm.
to like, just all the basic combat of the game, which is obviously quite a draw anyway.
Right.
Um, and all that. And he seemed to enjoy himself. I don't know if he enjoyed it enough to buy it. I don't know. I haven't asked him yet. I will do.
Mm.
But like, just seeing all these people get to at least enjoy, what the stuff that we do. Like, A-Day is obviously really good, so seeing people play that for the first time is awesome.
Right.
I will say that the biggest advice I gave to people during that weekend is play online. Don't play the
Yeah.
campaign unless you want to buy the game, because the online is the meat and potatoes. That is what you're going to
Right.
be spending pretty much like 90% of your time on, right?
Right.
So if you play the multiplayer and you hate it, no, don't.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Maybe it's not for you then. That I think that's a
maybe
good
it's not for
point.
you.
Yeah.
Like,
But sorry. I mean,
no,
like,
you go. Sorry,
no, I
sorry,
was
you
just
go.
gonna say anecdotally, like I've seen like people in chat talk about it. I've seen some like I said, a lot of posts on Reddit. Majority kind of saying like this game isn't as bad as people made it out to be. Saying like this game, is pretty good. Like, and I think that's a really good thing because I think a lot of people here in chat and have alluded to it over the course of like the past weekend. It really feels like there's a bunch of momentum behind the game right now, which is really nice to see, right? Because now you're kind of leading into that Wakanda stuff, right? It seems like this was timed at the perfect moment, right? You drop a bunch of announcements when it comes to Black Panther. You get this all access free weekend that people may look at those announcements and say, oh, Black Panther, let me try out Avengers. Perfect time, right? And then with the game, and the game has come a ways from launch, right? Launch was, we could say it. Launch sucked, right? Like there was a whole host of bugs, and the past, I guess almost a year now hasn't been easy for this game. And that's what I said to people. It's like for people who are coming into this game now, you have a decent amount of content. Let's just say a decent amount of content. You have a stable game, stable, not perfect, stable, versus what a lot of us went through for the first 10 months, which is like, the content wasn't there. It was not stable at points, right? And now those people are coming in, and now they're just on the precipice of War for Wakanda, which means like they have this whole thing behind, like in front of them. And I've been telling people like, take your time, like relax, take it easy, because by the time you play it casually, you're going to be at the point for War for Wakanda anyways. And I think once again, like for these new people coming in, they're just in a point of, they're just at the point with the game where it's like way better than like what you and I experience, what many people in chat experience. Like, I think honestly, if this was the game that came out last year, like this point right here, the reception to the game would have been so much different. You know what I mean?
I think that was it. I think the big thing that the game, obviously, it's a shame it had to happen like this at launch, was that it didn't have any content following what it had to kind of work with. So release it and then still be working on other stuff. It was like, okay, this is out now. We've got to do this and we've got to fix the bugs. Oh, it's chaos. Ah, fire. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and that's kind of the fear that we've been, fuck, I'm getting all mixed up. Hang on, let me.
It's okay. It's okay.
So what I'm trying to say is that they should have had a bit of a backlog to release, right? So that they could work on other stuff rather than 100% be completely like, fucking trying to fan the flames. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
I
think that's so. Yeah, that's what I mean. So they and when they didn't, and obviously they had to work on stuff and all that, and like
mm,
obviously with COVID and stuff, it makes things it made things really difficult. It made things really slow, which I think was another reason why a lot of people started noticing a lot of the bad things that this game had to offer. Whereas if it
right.
came out of the gate like fucking, oh, you got this, that. Like if we had
Right.
stuff every month, I feel like people wouldn't have noticed it as much.
Mm,
The bugs and the bad things, which would have given them time to maybe sort it out. But then in the same breath, adding more things to the way the game was probably wasn't a good idea anyway. So
right.
maybe it wasn't like the best path PR wise, but I think in the long run, probably focusing on those first few months to fix bugs, probably the best idea really.
Right. So now let's talk about the streamer weekend. So obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, this weekend Crystal Dynamics hosted a bunch of streamers. I think let me just kind of switch my scenes here for anyone who's watching. There was 2 on Thursday, there was 4 on Friday, there was 5 on Saturday, and there was 4 on Sunday. What do you think of kind of this more community interaction by Crystal Dynamics? Because a lot of the time, I'm very famous for harping on them for communication wise and like community support and all that stuff. But this weekend, it seemed like they were very on the ball with kind of showcasing a lot of their cool content creators, and not all of them. There's a lot of content creators that weren't showcased, but they definitely picked content creators that were very diverse in what they show. And like, what do you think of that kind of stuff moving forward? Is that something that you would like to see Crystal Dynamics do more of, or do you think, or if you do, like, how often do you think they should do this?
I think that us as players who play the game often can make the game look really good, can make the game look
Hmm.
really fun.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like a good community vibe, and we're all trying to play with other people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, players who play the game often can make it look a million times better than Lily Pichu, right?
Right. I remember.
Who's
Yeah. Yeah. That was a great stream. Yeah.
fucking mate, honestly, like she didn't know how to sprint. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a limit to sort of like you know when you can feel that this is sponsored by something. It was
Yeah.
just that. Like there was
Right.
no interest in the game in the slightest. Like whereas like well, obviously we get asked, we've already played the game anyway, so you're not going to see any bad shit. And people, coming into our chat, they were like, okay, so this about gear, and stuff like that. And I was happy to talk to them about it. And
Hmm.
for anyone who jumped in, you would notice that I was a bit more sensible.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
reason,
Comparative to like what you have done before. Yes.
obviously, I'm pretty sure there's a. I think it's very like self-explanatory why, but also for
Hmm.
newer players is I wanted to just help them out as much as possible because, believe it or not, for people who harp on like the overwhelmed by skill points, sort of joke, and
Oh,
they
we're gonna
use it
talk
for like
about that.
other
We're gonna
stuff.
talk about that too. Don't get me wrong. We're gonna really talk about that. So don't you worry.
Okay. So with that,
Hmm.
obviously as well, it's like the game can be quite daunting for people who don't play looters and they just want to play it for marble, right? So
Sure.
this weekend was also good for people to be able to watch others play it and be like, okay, these people can do it. I'll be all right, and then that also just makes them feel comfortable knowing they're coming into a community of like good people mostly,
Mostly.
right?
Sure.
Right? So, and it's more because the Discord was advertised as well during that time, and obviously, if you've got sort of a growing community of mostly positive people, it will grow more positively, right? Which in turn just makes the game better in the long run.
Right, right. I actually just pulled up Saikuno's video from that same sponsor stream, and like his face just says his face just seems like bored. Like it's like a half smile, and he's just like feels like it's just trying to force himself through it. So just want to pull that up for a little bit of context there for anyone who doesn't realize what we're talking about when we say like the Lily Pichu sponsored stream, right? No, I think you're right. I definitely think you're right in the sense of like there's people who play it for Marvel and not the looter aspect. And I think appealing to those people is a really good move too. Say, and I mean that from like a content creator perspective, right? Because like your sponsored segment, and I say sponsored, but like no one was paid for this, right? At least I wasn't. If you guys got paid for it, you guys better start fessing up. But when I say sponsored segment,
Well,
I
I
just
mean,
mean
I
he
got
was
I got a Calix Community Voices, mate. That was my payment. I got Scott Amos through the door. Fuck you know.
right, exactly. So my point was that like using these opportunities with creators who know a lot of information about the game, and then using the reach of these social media platforms that Avengers has to draw those viewers in who may not be the most kind of, intensely knowledgeable about the gear aspect. I think it's a good idea because I think it's one of those things where there's definitely a divide in the community, because one of the things that I really want to harp on right now is like the 4 times XP and the skill points ding, right? And I think one of the things I really want to know is like, did the new players really kind of like suffer from too many skill points too quickly, or is that once again just kind of poking an argument in their own, or poking a hole in their own argument, right?
I didn't actually think about that.
Did you not think about that? Dude, it's been
I
on my
didn't.
it's on my brain all
Bro,
weekend, and I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the
I've not
perfect
been thinking about
opportunity.
that at all. Like, I've not been 4 times. Yeah, no, I've not been thinking about that. That's a good point.
I, I
Oh
was I,
shit.
I was literally waiting all weekend to make this point. I was like, 4 times XP on an all access weekend where there's new players. Oh god, they're gonna be so upset with all those skill points. They're not gonna know what to do. They're not gonna know. They're dinging too fast, Stardust. And I just sat here and I was waiting for it. And then I put out the tweet today. And I'm just, it's one of those things where it's like they're
Digging too fast. Oh, that sounds kind of hot. Do you want to go again?
and it's just one of those things. But to your point, maybe the gear system, for those people who may not know a lot about looters and gear, maybe there's a point there to be made that, like, when it comes to stats and perks, little bit different, little more intricate than skill points, for example, right? So maybe doing what you did and kind of, appealing to those kind of people with the audience that you had is a really good move.
I feel like if I was in charge of doing the skill points, that overwhelmed by skill points joke would come up so often. And for all the new players, they wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I would, so I'd feel better about it.
Okay, so what do you think about Crystal Dynamics doing more things like these? Like, is there like a time and a place that you would like to see them spotlight more creators? Would you like to see them spotlight creators like every 2 weeks? How would you say, for example, I put you in the role of Andy Wong. Okay, so you're now Andy. Now, say for
Aw,
example,
bless him.
your next objective is to host a community spotlight, right? So you can pull in as many creators as you can from any range of creator. You can pull up the top dogs to the little
Oh
puppies,
God.
right? No, I'm not
No,
gonna. I'm not. No,
don't.
no, no, no. I'm not gonna ask you to pick names, but
Oh, thank God.
but do you have like a strategy involved? Like, what is your strategy moving forward? Because like realistically speaking, if you look at a lot of the people on that list, there was some big names there, right? There was a lot of big names there. Now, do you go with big names again? Do you go with different? I saw a lot of tweets about asking for the Spanish community. Like, how do you go and kind of juggle all these different creators who different things and give like equal spotlight to all these different communities going around?
Okay, so a lot of like the people that were on the list that we saw, right,
Hmm.
are somewhat community members that have kind of proven that they, not that people who weren't on that list weren't. I've got to really fucking be careful here. Like,
Do you
it's
want me
that
to answer
like
the question?
no, no, no. I've got this.
Okay.
I've got this. It's fine.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
people that were on that list are people that are obviously like, some might be in that Avengers Illuminati group. Others have had contact in the past with like, people that can be sort of trusted in
Hmm.
these roles, if you know
Sure.
what I mean. So what I think you have to do is, if you want to give more people opportunities, but you don't want to just chuck people into the spotlight that you're not 100% on, you could always do a form. You could always do something like that, like a little CV kind of thing for
Mm.
the smaller content creators to get the spotlight. Because then, say Mr. Joe Schmo with 10 followers needs that big break, but he adores Avengers and his content's actually quality, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
You send something like that off and you get a big fucking spotlight for your next character release or your big content release. I think that's
Right.
a good idea. So you've got people that can jump in whenever. Obviously, make that list a lot bigger because there was a lot of streamers that can be a part of that weren't,
Hmm.
right? But then you could also do that sort of like, CV aspect and stuff like that. But I do think that, like you said, going into different communities is also a good idea. You don't just want people in who get featured often. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
um, you don't want, say for me, for example, I mentioned this on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm me being on there because like I'm one of the air quotes trusted, um is in the next one, but it's stopping Eddie, right, from
Sure.
getting in.
Yep.
Fuck that. Remove me, put him in.
Sure.
We've got to share the love. Do you know what I mean? You've
Well,
got to
I even
people.
said myself. I
Yeah,
said I've been saying myself. If there is one next time, like don't put me in. Like spotlight someone else. Because at the end of the day, I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like unless you desperately want me in, because like you need someone at a certain time or someone drops out. Like I don't need it. But there's someone out there. Like I'll shout out like King TDB. I've been watching his streams over the weekend. Very cool guy. Very cool creator. Someone like him may be jumping at that opportunity that he doesn't actually get, right? Or some other people, right? I think Orange TV is another one I've been watching, right? These smaller creators
yep.
who have these dedicated communities, right? Versus me, I throw on a stream and I get people coming in, so I don't necessarily need that signal boost that they're giving, right? And I think that might be a way to do it, right? Like, but I think your point also is like how do you trust a lot of these creators that maybe you don't have that working relationship with, right? Like, and I think there's like over time, and maybe this is a little bit of like some work that needs to be done. Like maybe you just got to silently watch some of these other creators to get their vibe, right? And if their vibe matches what you're looking for, then you're already done. You know what I mean?
I think that, like, obviously there's a lot of people that it's awkward, and people might fall out with me for this, and I want people to know this isn't me trying to like call anyone out, because there are genuinely people in this community that deserve to be on that weekend and deserve to be in future weekends as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's obviously some people that would be upset that they weren't a part of these weekends and be like, what about, you know, what about what I've done? What about how long I've played the game? What about
Mm-hmm.
the fact I'm a part of this community, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
But there's obviously people who actually have a good point. Now, the reason why it's a difficult red tape is because you don't just kind of want to go, okay, they sulked enough, let's give them the spotlight. But then there's also someone who could be like, okay, they make a very good point, they're quality, we need to have them in. So it's almost like you don't want to like reward moaning about not being in the spotlight, but there's people who
Right.
genuinely
Right.
deserve it. So it's difficult, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because in a way, if they say, for example, Andy's looked at this list and thinks I wouldn't change a single thing about it, it went really well, they showcased the game perfectly, you're
Mm.
at a risk where if you swap someone out to put someone in, that entire dynamic could completely change, right?
Right.
There could be like, you know uh so if you put like me, you revealing, and then someone who doesn't speak very good English, so obviously they
Sure.
speak in like a different language and stuff. For people who are jumping between streams and trying to watch them all, that's very going to be confusing, right? So what you need to
Sure.
do is you need to dedicate those days to
Oh, like a language spotlight, you know what I mean? Because like you,
yeah,
you you can't
yeah,
do country spotlight, but you can do language spotlights. Like
exactly, yeah,
every weekend you highlight streamers and content creators who speak Spanish, for example. And
yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, because I think then you could like focus those communities on like these content creators that are a part of this community. Yeah, that's an interesting way to do it.
So, so for example, obviously, like, you have like Spanish content creator, kind of like the biggest one, maybe headline the
Regions.
weekend to make people like feel, you know, like comfortable, because obviously they
Mm,
know, who the person is. And then you put other like say Spanish smaller content creators throughout the day as well. And then all of a
mm.
sudden you're sort of advertising Spanish people,
Yeah.
and just different languages, different countries and stuff like that to the game and the community. So
Mm. Yeah, Nestar is saying just do it by regions, which I think is the easiest way to do it, right? Latin America, EU, US, Asia Pacific, and then Asia, then Oceanic, right? Instead of combining Asia Pacific together, I guess. Is that one region? Asia Pacific? I think that lumps the whole side of that world together. But
Honestly, mate, I'm terrible at geography.
you're fine. You're fine. Do you remember that Andy handles the English folk? True. And but I you know, like, and to that point, so for example, Calix, when I see a lot of tweets talking about like Eddie in the Spanish community, I don't know if Avengers has a point of contact for the Spanish community, whether that's someone at Square or someone that's handled internally at Crystal, right? Which is where a lot of this conversation comes from. So, I mean, like, one of the things there is like, how do you differentiate between, like, for example, Andy handles a lot of the English folks, but then how do you handle a lot of the other stuff going on? And I think that's where the conversation comes from. One of the things, like, I think this conversation comes up a lot because you obviously, and I think we've talked about it briefly as well, is that you do have the Illuminati group, right? And then outside of the well, I mean, it is what it is, right? And then you have the Illuminati group, and then outside of the Illuminati group, you have tier two content creators, right? So, like, for example, anyone who got invited to the weekend that isn't a part of the Illuminati group, I would call a tier two streamer for Avengers, right? Tier two content creator. And then anyone who isn't part of the Illuminati group, didn't get invited to the weekend, I would call a tier 3 streamer, right? And then you have everybody else at tier 4, I guess. You know what I mean? Maybe other people in other regions, so on and so forth. And it's like, how do you differentiate between all these groups and handle opportunities and filter them through the community? Because like I said, there's a lot of cool there's a lot of cool content creators and streamers that I've been watching, but it's like, you know, whether it's because of their time zones or whether it's because of maybe the quality isn't the greatest, but their personality really shines through. It's like, where do you kind of throw opportunities to these people and, you know, kind of spotlight them, right? Is it kind of just like random tweets here and there? Like, hey, for anyone who's awake right now, this content creator is doing this, go join up, have some fun, you know, enjoy kind of thing. Like, you know, how do you kind of filter all these cool opportunities? Because like I said, if this comes up again, I'm not jumping in because I'd want to see someone else get that spotlight because I don't need that spotlight, you know? Versus someone like you who may want that spotlight and needs that spotlight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird. I'm like the most unpopular popular.
Oh, he's the most unpopular popular what? Oh, I think he was making a point there to say something about himself, but I think we lost it. So I'm gonna talk to chat for a little bit here because obviously Stardust is gone. No Xbox streamers got on the streaming list over the weekend. Well, I think that's because the whole all access thing wasn't available to Xbox in general, right? So like it's hard to do an event that has Xbox people, but there's no Xbox availability for the all access weekend, right? Oh, hold on. We might have started us back. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, buddy. Okay, you're back.
Hey, okay. I kept my headphones out, and then, like, for some reason, they wouldn't, like, when I plugged them in, it wouldn't reconnect until I left the call and joined back, so I'm here.
Okay.
Anyway, how you doing?
I'm good. You were making a point. I'm the most popular, unpopular.
I'm the most popular, unpopular Avengers guy, I feel. Like, so, like, I feel like this is going to be really, like, cocky for me to say it, but I'm trying to not.
Jerk off your ego much? Like, are you serious? Anyways, continue. Come on. Go for it.
So I feel like, considering, like, obviously, I love the support I do get, but I feel like because obviously people know me a lot through you, right? And you're obviously Big Daddy Master, right? But obviously, it's not me, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? Ah, fuck off.
Okay, so hold on. No. Let's work through this as logically as possible. Okay, so starting point is people know you through me. Okay. Right, that's the first point.
So people know me. So people know me through you, right?
Yes, correct.
And like obviously, I'm quite active in speaking to the community and stuff like that, right?
Correct.
But it's not like my fucking channel.
Oh, it doesn't translate over. Oh, I see what you're saying. Even though, like, yeah. So I see. So even though you're active in the community and you're part of this, for example, that doesn't translate to the activity on your own channel, for example, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Thanks.
Okay, no problem.
So that's why I think so, because it's like, you know, I feel so like loved by so many people, and then it's like, and especially like, I know it's so difficult, man, because people are now thinking that I'm like your little like pin cushion for dick or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's awkward now.
It's getting there. Okay, so if you had to do another all access, no, sorry, not all access weekend, but a streamer showcase, would you put it on the anniversary, like an anniversary, or would you do like a, so say for example, once again, you are Andy Wong. How do you handle the anniversary event? Like, do you do anything on the social media with content creators? Do you do a video with the content creators? Do you highlight some streams that weekend? You know, because I think there's well, I was gonna say
have you
there's
ever watched YouTube Rewind?
yeah, where it's like the year of 2021 or whatever, and they showcase like all these big moments.
Yeah, do it like that.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah. There you
Okay.
go. Sorted, mate. Sorted. Big clips that like the content creators want to send in. You could do like a montage.
Oh, so you're putting the onus on the creators to send in their own clips, so then basically they can that's actually a good way to do it, because then through that filtering you kind of can grow the list of creators that you may approach for more opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ooh, Stardust is smart, guys.
Because then that's a good way. So rather than do the form that I mentioned earlier, you can literally watch these clips and be like, like just from this clip alone, I like that energy. I'm gonna keep an eye on this name.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You get the names in. See, mate, I'm on it.
So now if we don't get an anniversary like video for like, then we're fighting Andy, right? Or at
Oh
least
no, don't fight Andy. He's only cool.
Andy's only
I won't
cool
be
because
sad.
Andy's only cool because you, Andy, and Sonic were bullying me Sunday night.
It was so fucking funny.
That's the only reason Andy's cool
It
right now,
was
is because
so
like you guys
funny.
were in the DMs with each other going, do you guys want to bully Hyruler? Do you guys want to bully him? And you guys are like, oh my god, of course I do. And then you guys were just like bullying, you know?
I actually begged Andy in the DMs to ask one of the devs to just shut the servers off for you.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Just because like I desperately didn't want to watch you keep failing anymore, and I was like,
That's
me and Sonic actually, like, jokes aside, we stopped the jokes for a minute and we straight up messaged each other like, oh, I feel so bad.
it's
Because I literally, bro, I went for a fucking like shower, finished
yeah.
a video, came back, and you were still on the fight.
Listen, dude, the grind doesn't stop, man. Like I'll sit there for 10 hours if I have to with a group, and we'll fight through that thing. Like
That doesn't
I
mean
am
it's, that
I am an
doesn't mean it's not depressing. Fuck.
listen, I am an absolute maniac. I will sit there and keep going and going and going. I'm a psycho. Like I'll say it. I'm a psycho.
You
I have
dragged
no
me through the two-man
Yeah,
fucking
I
cap
dragged
shield,
you through the two-man cap shield. Yeah, which is
and
like
and mate, after watching you like shit the bed as your own cap, trying to like do your thing, I think it's very clear who did the most there.
you do realize in a two-man scenario with two caps, it's equal footing. You know what I mean?
No, it's not, mate. All right.
Okay.
See, here's the thing. No. Listen. So here's the thing. When that happened,
Yeah.
everyone
Yes.
was like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, hi, Ruler, you did the two-man. Oh, hi, Ruler.
I
Oh,
never
hey, you
wanted
take this
that. I never wanted
production."
that. Listen,
No,
I
no,
always
no.
said
So who got the killing blow? It was me. All right.
Oh
Who did
my
the fucking
God.
big ton chunks
This
of
you
damage?
know what
to
this reeks
start?
of? You know what this reeks
Me.
of? Little brother syndrome. This is what this reeks of. Little brother syndrome. That's all this is. It's little brother syndrome.
Oh my god. I can't
Little
believe this.
little brother syndrome.
No, because listen, because it's true. Why didn't I get equal credit for something that I did more of the work on?
Because you have a life and a fiance, and you have a life outside of this game. What do I have outside of this game? Nothing. This is it.
You have a boat.
Yeah, my parents have a boat. It's not mine.
That's kind of sad. I thought that was your boat.
No, it's not.
Well, no, actually, I thought it was your dad's boat, but I thought you used it more often.
No, I mean I'm there often, but it's not like I own the thing. Jesus.
Oh my god, bro, that's embarrassing.
Do you think? Okay, let's look at this logically. Okay, let's lay out this way. Do you think I, off of 2.7 thousand subscribers, do you think I could afford a boat?
I think you could afford maybe like a go on one of those little paddle boats. You know that you do at like the ponds, and you fucking little like you
All right,
little
moving
paddle
on.
boat.
Moving on. The jet ski is true. Okay, now I think we're done with the weekend stuff. Now it's time to get into some Black Panther outfits. You want to do this?
Let's do it, mate.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's
All
go.
right, switching scenes over, so now everyone can see the outfits. Okay, so first and foremost, while we talk about outfits, before we get into the Black Panther ones, Tice sent $5 in as a super chat, like almost 43 minutes ago. I'm so sorry if you're not here. Tice asked, "Do you guys think we'll see MCU outfits for characters other than Black Panther and War for Wakanda?" My answer is no. I think we'll see new outfits. I doubt we're gonna see new MCU outfits. I think more than likely we'll definitely get a Black Panther MCU outfit, and then maybe a few weeks later we'll get an MCU outfit for another character. I don't know what they're gonna do with the MCU outfits because do you scatter them all around now? Like, do you do Civil War here, Iron Man 2 here, Captain America 2 here? Because at this point we're starting to run out of team outfits that you can do. Right? You have Infinity War. Then maybe Avengers 2 and then Avengers 1. Like you could do those, but other than that, a lot of the ones people want are from the solo movies, for example. So like how do you juggle all that? So I don't know what the strategy is for MCU outfits going forward. I have this feeling that we probably won't see one for any other character besides Panther with War for Wakanda. Okay, so now let's do the Black Panther outfits that were shown. And we'll just kind of go through these. Do you want the link? Do you have the link for
I have.
this?
I'm just looking on Play Avenger Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Just
All
got
right.
all of them up in a bundle.
So let's do the most dangerous man. So that's the Batman outfit. What do you think of this one?
I fucking love it. Like
Yeah.
for starters, this man literally could walk into the club, pull my girl, and like that's it. She'd be gone, mate. I'd be like, all right, I've seen a bit. Like, I ain't fucking with this dude. All right, this guy could smack me on the ass, and I'd be like, Dad. Do you know what I mean? Like this is crazy. So, no, right. Jokes aside, though, it's really fucking cool. Like I really like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, I don't know. Something about like the shoes and that. Like I know this sounds weird, but it's so sick. I love it. I love this
I, thi-
skin so much.
I think this is a really good one, though it's not my favorite. I think like the attention to detail. Well, I was gonna say the attention to detail is like really cool, right? So you have all the buckles done. You have the claws. Like if you look at the claws, they're all metallic there at the bottom. Like this is a really good one. And then like I like the head. So I'm gonna zoom in here for people who are watching. The head where it's like a totally different material. It's like it almost looks like I want to say like it looks like it has the texture of a hard plastic, but it looks really cool there with the golden eyes. Like this one looks absolutely fabulous. It's not my favorite. It's not the one I'm going to wear, but like if this is part of the challenge card set, I think I'm going to be very excited to unlock this. Now, just really quick, do you think any of these are part of the challenge card? Because I think all of them are challenge card.
Fucking hell! I had this same conversation with Ethan the other night. Like, I think one of these are in the challenge card.
Which one?
One. Actually, no, tell a lie. No, wait, yeah, actually, I was gonna stick by that. I think strategist, so man without fear one, is gonna be the one that they put in that gets recolored a bunch. You know how like they
Yeah,
have the modern Hawkeye one,
that reeks to me of recolors. Yeah, exactly.
and they're gonna have one of the other three, maybe a different one as like the Ronin of the pack. Right,
That
and
would-
then
I,
like the white and red Black Panther recolor. Those things are challenge card versions for sure.
So okay,
Obviously,
for example, you followed this example all the way through. Which one would you put as the Ronin skin? Would it be the casual clothes or would it be the one with the cape?
one with the cape. One with the cape.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think of this one? Because I know there was a lot of conversation about this one in particular because like they reference this one is from like the original sketches of Black Panther all the way in the 70s, and I know that obviously when you talk costumes and you talk comic costumes, that's when people they'll start pulling out the drawings, for example, and they'll start comparing like the one to one. What do you think of this one in particular and like kind of like the reference to it?
I mean, when people sort of like, oh mate, when people look at the sort of old version of the Black Panther one, it's like there's almost too much detailing on it. Do you know what I mean? To like look like the old fashioned version, if you know what I mean. But I like the cape.
Hmm.
I'm a big cape person, so I do wish the cape was longer. But obviously, I know that that's not accurate. So like, I know I like it. I like it. It's definitely not my favorite. It's probably my like. I don't know actually. I think it'd probably be my fourth out of the bunch. Actually,
Really?
my
That'd be your
least favorite.
fourth? Okay.
Yeah.
I had
Just
that.
because it's like not. I mean, it's obviously different from the iconic one, but
Right.
essentially it's like different textures everywhere and a cape. That's kind of
Mm.
it.
I
This
had
doesn't
this.
really like.
Well, I was gonna say this is my third one. This was my third one. So for me, I had the strategist, the man without fear, and then I had the royal clothing as my second. I had this one as my third, and then Batman I had as my fourth. Cause like I could,
Really?
yeah, cause I could see myself wearing the plain clothes like that one, and I can see myself. I'm definitely using the strategist one, 100%. I think this is the best one. I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. I will literally meet you outside at the park, and I will fight you. This is the best one, 100%. There is no way this. Yeah, yup,
Whoa.
yup, yup. I said it,
Whoa.
dude.
What a take.
I said it.
What a
This
take.
is this is the
Ooh.
best one. This is
You're
by
gonna
far the
burn
best
yourself.
one. No, 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 no. That's not
That's
a hot take,
crazy.
dude. That's
Dangerous,
cold.
dangerous man.
No.
Dangerous man. Best skin. Second, T'Challa. Third one,
Ooh.
strategist. Fourth one, what's that one? Damisasaki. There you go, Damisasaki.
I think we could both agree that the King T'Challa outfit is like a solid 2 then, right? Depending on where you slot your 1, 3, and 4s, like this is a solid 2, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Casual
for
clothes?
sure.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's really like what I love about it is it's so drastically different. And to be fair, I really wanted a skin of just T'Challa in his regular clothes
Yep.
anyway.
Yep.
So like, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's probably not his regular, it's his royal robes and that. Like, I doubt he
Right.
like sits up with his fucking bitches, plays blackjack
Well, they said,
stuff.
this is another Crystal Dynamics original where we wanted to design a regal look that was still functional. We thought about what T'Challa would wear when he wasn't donning the Black Panther suit. If you look closely, you see that he has finger rings on, which act as claws in battle. So this does seem like this is just what he would wear on a normal day, right? You know,
Yeah, but it's like king
he's got
stuff. Yeah,
he's got drip though. You know what I mean? Like,
he's not gonna wake up with that. Do you know what I've noticed as well? Like,
what's up? What's up? This is gonna hurt me,
he's,
isn't it?
he's
I feel the pain already. Just say it.
Have you noticed how like near his crotch area there's a lot of like stretching and like it's like this dude's dick is about to explode out of these trousers, you know what I'm saying? Like
You know what? You know
holy
what,
fuck.
dude? You know what the worst part of that sentence is? You're not the only one that said it. When we were doing the dev stream on Friday, you know how many people in my chat pointed that out? How many people in my chat pointed that out? They were like, "Yo, T'Challa's got a bulge." I'm like, guys, do you really look at like the crotch area for these characters? Like, I'm sorry, like I don't. But like, people on Friday were like going crazy for it, and I'm just like, you guys are absolutely down bad, absolutely down
This is
bad.
this is why T'Challa doesn't have like casual shorts or anything because it's down at his ankles.
I fucking hate you, dude.
This man.
All right, no,
rather
no,
than,
no, no,
like,
no, 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 no. You've already
Okay,
said enough.
all right,
You know,
all
you
right,
can't.
all right,
Don't just, you know. Sometimes it's better to leave
Can
some
I say
things.
can I say one more? Can I say one more? Can I say one more? So you know when he pulls the spear out, rather than it be a spear,
Shut
just whips
the
his
fuck up.
fucking
No, no,
dick
no, 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 no,
out?
no, no, no. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. We're moving on.
Okay, all right,
That
all right.
I was giving you there. I was giving you one there, but you were taking that to the very, 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 very extreme. So thank you for that. Okay, okay. Holy moly, dude! You were driving that home. I Abby with the oh god, what? Hold on, I'm gonna have to figure out what currency this is. I'm so sorry. Qatari Real. Cool. That's actually really cool. With the 50 from Qatari Real, 50 Qatari Real, I think that's the way you say that. Says, hope you have a good day. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day as well. Okay. I think that's everything we wanted to talk about today. We did, what did we do today? We did Spider-Man. We did OLT review. We did All Access Weekend. We did the Streamer Spotlight. We did Black Panther outfits. Oh, MCU outfit for Black Panther day one. Yes or no? I say yes.
I say yes.
Okay.
Yes. It'll be shown in the war table as well.
Perfect. Perfect. Oh, you'd be shown in the war table. Yeah, we did war table predictions. We did like roadmap predictions. Yeah, I think we did everything. Do you want to do? What about the animated short? Oh yeah, the animated short. We could do that. I totally forgot about it. So the animated short came out today, and this was new. If I remember correctly, they've never done this before, even pre-launch. So basically, the animated short was just kind of doing that world building, which I thought was very cool. Let me pull it up here. I think stuff like this add like even though like you look at it and you're like really, I think stuff like this just adds to that world building that is going on, and I think it shows like the level of caring that they're putting into this expansion, right? Because like a lot of the time, for example, the operations just felt like run of the mill stuff, right? Like here's kind of the trailer, here's like here's a combat showcase, and you kind of get the feeling of like it's like same old, right? But then with something like this coming out, just randomly dropped on Tuesday, and it's just like this was very cool. Like I can't see anything wrong with this. Like I think this is like as part of that new strategy, right? Where it's like we're gonna do the roadmap or the war table 16th, release 17th, but before that, we're gonna drop a lot of cool shit, and I think this was part of that cool shit that was very cool. What did you think of it?
It's very Marvel. It's very
Yeah,
Marvel, isn't it? Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
very
yeah,
much
yeah.
like reading it, and it obviously the tone of it is very much like reading a comic book.
Mhm.
Which if criticism was given to this game is like it doesn't feel like it takes any inspiration from comics,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel very Marvel. Which obviously this is both like very Marvel feeling, both very like wondrous. You can really sort of like. I'd love to read a comic like this, you know what I mean? Like with this art
Mm.
style, with this story and stuff like that. So, to be able to sort of see it in this form and then be able to play it like interactively is really like that's exciting.
People are pointing out the eyes. Hold on. People are pointing out the eyes here. I don't know if you noticed this. I didn't notice this at all. Maybe it's just because I'm not. I'm just maybe not all there. People are pointing out that she has two different colored eyes, and they're pointing out that the only other person other than Okoye that has two different colored eyes is Monica. What do you think? Is there anything?
Oh,
Do you think there's
that's a good point, chat. That's a
it,
good fucking point.
anything there? Maybe that's how the expansion
What?
starts off.
Why?
Like,
Why would they make a point to show off this?
mm,
Like this part of Okoye when the last time we saw anyone's eyes pointed like that was Monica when to show that she's a clone, and they've done it here as well. Maybe clone Okoye is the one who lets
clones of two
Flora
colored
in.
eyes. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, this is
There you go.
interesting.
It's another little tidbit pointed out there, right? That maybe there's more to the expansion than what we know about, right? Like that's interesting. I think there's something there. I think forever who noticed that, I didn't notice that. If you guys noticed that, then you guys are on top of the ball there because you guys are the ones that are gonna figure out all the little secrets before you even finish it more than likely. So that's cool. That's actually very cool. Okay, so there's that.
Suki said, "Why give it away so obviously?" That I mean, we didn't notice it.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't notice it at all. I mean, like, there's obviously a bunch of you who did notice, but for anyone who's just casually watching, just following along, they're not going to notice that.
And
I put that.
not just that either, but like that's very much like you have to be kind of addicted to the lore to really kind of remember that anyway, right? So it's
Mm,
and by the way, this could be a total like twist, and her eyes are just like that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, so, but it's a nice kind of like, you know, olive branch brought to
Mm-hmm.
those kind of people that could be like, oh, Okoye, oh my god.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Like, there's always going to be like little kind of Easter eggs planted throughout a lot of these stories, right? Like, for example, an Easter egg like this would be like Captain Britain being name dropped in Endgame, right? It's one of those things where it's like if you know it, you catch on to it, but if you don't know it, you don't. It totally flies over your head, right? So I think a little bit of that was happening here, and I think if you notice it, obviously good. If you didn't notice it, it's not even gonna matter, because obviously you'll probably find out a lot of this story anyways, right? So,
It's a good chance that it's just like a little kind of hint, but
mm,
it's not going to play out because obviously there's a lot of times you'll see like trailers, for example, like have a clip in it that doesn't actually happen in the actual movie, and it's just to like incentivize people to go and see it more. Similar to big lore addicts that are like, oh, cool, yeah, it could be a clone, which turns out to just have different colored eyes anyway.
Speaking of that, I'm still not happy with Marvel over that Infinity War trailer where they're all charging together. You know,
And there's Hulk in the background
Hulk
as
in the
well, yeah.
background. Yeah, they really did me dirty on that one. I'm not happy with them still over that all these years later. Okay. I think what time is it? 7:12. All right. But why tease that? Why don't you reveal it in the DLC? Because people probably there's a lot of people who don't even notice it. You know what I mean? Do you think that War of Wakanda will set up a tease for the next character? I don't know. I actually don't know. Okay. So Jazzy basically put out like 30 questions. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Jazzy wants me to answer one question in particular. I'll let you pick one question from Jazzy, and then Mr. Tun ask some questions as well. So we each pick one from Mr. Tun. Sound good?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So let me have a look.
Okay. Okay, so Jazzy asked about the dual boss fight that I talked about last time we did. Was it last time we did a weekly recap where I talked about the dual boss fight? So Jazzy asked, and recently you talked about the dual bosses. So so the English is broken here. Would this boss fight be in the style of a regular boss fight, a Monica type boss fight, or an OLT boss fight? As far as I know, and I don't know the whole full detail shebang on it, it's a regular boss fight, but I don't know the full detail on that. So
I
that
mean,
info,
it's
yes,
still very different because it's
hmm
dual. So
right,
like,
right.
yeah, I know what you mean, but like
I,
regular would, you know what I mean?
yeah. No, it's just I don't know past a certain amount of stuff. That
Mm.
question would be answered past that threshold. All I know is that there is a dual boss fight. I don't know the actual mechanics within that dual boss fight. You know what I mean? So it's
Oh
hard
yeah,
for me
for
to answer
sure,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you got?
Oh shit, yeah. How many heroes can you guys see on the next roadmap if it was 12 months? Oh wait, hold on, we've answered that.
We've answered that.
Um, out of all the information we have gotten, what has made you the most hype so far? So, okay, I'll explain. So I'm a big fan of environments and big kind of beautiful looking areas and stuff that I can look at and go, whoa, that's sick, right?
Hmm.
So having like Wakanda and being told that like the hub's gonna be in the Golden City and we get to explore temples and stuff like that, and obviously you saw like the concept art and shit like that. Believe it or not, that's one of the things that got me like incredibly hyped for it because I love just really gorgeous looking environments in games to be able to just like be in awe by them. So if this is like a really like beautiful environment which it really sets up to be, I could play the missions just to walk about. Like
Right.
I'm a bit of a weirdo like that.
Yep. No, I mean, I don't think you're a weirdo because I think a lot of people, a lot of the complaints with this game is like it doesn't have iconic Marvel locations, right? It's biomes, right? But I think a lot of those complaints stem from the place of I want to explore these places. I want to see the things I see out of the comic books, out of the cartoons, out of, all of the movies. Like I want to explore these places that I know and love, and I want to do it while looking at a game that is pretty good about the environments that they've already built. They just want the different environments to kind of appreciate them, right? So I don't think you're alone at that. I think definitely there's a lot of like, give me the environments I love because I want to explore those, want to be immersed in those. So no, I don't think you're alone for sure.
But yeah, that was sort of my like side hype thing. I would say the most hyped. Like, yeah, I think that definitely raised my hype. I think that just having Black Panther is obviously the big thing for everyone.
Mm,
But that would be sort of like my side, biggest thing.
okay, cool. Um, is there anything here from Jazzy that I can answer quickly? Do you think they get? Oh, here we go. This is actually a pretty good one. I guess because we're on the precipice of War for Wakanda, so maybe this is a question that we should talk about. Do you think they should get to the Kree sooner or later because they've mainly been the only reason as to why the Avengers are doing things? Probably sooner rather than later. I would say if your later is quarter 4, 2021, and your sooner is like quarter. I was even gonna say 3. But I mean, that could be a pretty big gap between like the start of quarter 3 and like the end of quarter 4, for example. I would say probably sooner rather than later because you definitely want to have a finale to this story arc, and you don't want to drag it too long, because the longer you drag it on, the more comes down to like, is this worth the wait? You know what I mean? And the more time you spend kind of having players ask themselves, is this worth the wait? Then, once again, we start seeing like people get unhappy, and you get, all these different things that have happened, versus if you kind of just like get your way to the end of this storyline and you deliver on it, then people may just be more okay with kind of the story itself, right? Versus you take that same story, you delay it 5 months, and people are going to be like, really, all that time for this? I would just
Hmm.
like to see it sooner rather than later, just for the reasons of what's after the Kree, right? If this game, because I know people have been talking about, this game does have some momentum now, maybe has some more legs to it. If this game really goes on past 2022 into 2023, where does the game go in story wise, narrative wise, right? Like, what do they have cooking after that, right? Do you go more cosmic? Do you dial it back in, right? And I think those are the questions I would really like to see answered if the game actually keeps going forward, you know?
I definitely think that the jump from the kind of grounded esque
Mm,
kind of story we had to fucking time travel, clones, and all that stuff is a bit mad. I do
mm,
think that like after this, it would be good to kind of go back to roots, go back to sort of relatively Avengers style street level stuff, and then you have a build up similar again that leads into another big threat like the Kree or whatever. So you could sort
mm,
of give people a bit of a chance to kind of breathe and appreciate these characters more, because it's really
mm,
difficult to appreciate these Avengers when they keep being thrusted into big things that we as people need to care about, right? So we have to be
mm,
connected to these characters. But because minus the campaign, they've not had a chance to breathe yet, it's a bit like, we sort of we need to see them saving
mm,
people. We need to see them be the Avengers, which they don't get a chance to do in big
mm.
events like this.
True. Jason asked the question here, and I'm going to answer this one, even though I don't think I'm the right person to answer it, but I'm going to try my best, obviously to do my best to walk through this. Jason asked, do you think Black Panther may bring in a bigger player base of black people? I asked because Black Panther and Civil War movie brought in a lot of new fans into the MCU as Black Panther fans. I mean, Jason, I would like to think so. Obviously, Black Panther means a lot to people. And I think, there's actually, I'm going to reference this conversation I had, and this conversation was months ago, and I think it was, I can't remember who it was with, but it was about War Machine, for example, right? There was part of the conversation where I said, make War Machine a summon, fuck War Machine, whatever. And then I had someone come in. I used to do viewer call-ins after a dev stream, and this individual had come in and said, as a black guy, War Machine actually means a lot to me as like that representation. And I didn't think about it like that, right? And it provided a different perspective on that whole situation with War Machine. And I still troll about War Machine, but not to the degree I do. But I definitely think that if this character means a lot to people, then I would like to think that, if the character is done well, the representation of that character is done well, translating the character from comics to the video game, that if you're a fan of that character, you probably will like to check him out regardless, right? Then you have the whole host of issues with the game itself. Is the game good? Does the game do this? The game do that? But I'd like to think that if you're a fan of Black Panther and you're a fan of the character, that you do have sort of an incentive there to check the game out at that point. Once again, I'm probably the wrong person to ask that question. I'm sure there's people in chat who have a better perspective on that answer. But to me, I would like to think so, but it remains to be seen if that is kind of the way it goes, right? And we'll just have to wait and see, right? Okay, I think we go with Mr. Tun now, right? Mr. Tun asking
Yeah, sure.
questions,
Let's do it.
right? Do you want to go
Let
first?
me find. I can do if you want. I can
Yeah, go
do.
for it.
So let me find the big one. Okay, there's one here. Do you think there's more coming with the expansion than we know, since they are trying to keep everything hush hush? Because normally with other expansions, with other games, you would have already seen gameplay or get a feeling for the story by now. So
Mm,
I do believe this is just one of those cases where like everything you've heard kind of leaked and stuff like that is probably the extra that you're
mm-hmm,
sort of thinking of. The
mm-hmm.
stuff that like we don't know, so to speak, is the stuff that you've heard from people like Miller, right?
Yep.
Obviously, they might go full bleh out on the war table and just explain all of these things, but most likely, I doubt all of those things will be there like completely day one. So, like the raid,
Yep.
for example, right?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why we probably haven't just been given to just be told stuff. And not only that as well, but realistically, like there's only so much of the expansion you can advertise, and considering they spent a good bit of last month sort of showing slowly going through their concept art and stuff like that, really trying to like milk different pieces, I imagine that it's just a case of how long can they drag something out that they're showcasing before they can get to the
Right.
war table and get into it, you know?
Yeah, I think there's probably little bits and bobs that we don't know about it, and yeah, I would agree with. It's tough because like I definitely think they'll talk about like the mission types, what kind of missions to expect. They'll talk about the raid, but they won't talk about story. I think the story is, and it's why I haven't talked about the story, right? Because I know little bits and bobs of the story, but I think that's one of the things they don't want to talk about either because they want people to experience the story, and I think that's the best part. Is like I could tell you guys like a dual boss fight is coming. I can tell you guys a horde mode is coming, right? I can tell you guys these things because at the end of the day, they matter, but like they don't matter to the point of like the story matters. And so I definitely think if there's anything that we don't know by now, the 16th we'll just let it all go. But I think it'll be like everything but story, and then you guys have to go and play for the story, which I think is the right way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I think. Do you think we'll be able to sit on the throne in Wakanda as T'Challa, like press square? More than likely, yeah. More than likely.
I reckon similar to Lucky, there'll probably be like different animations and reactions depending on the character you do. So like, if for some reason Bruce can't be Bruce in there and you have to be Hulk, I'd imagine that like someone would sort of warn him to not sit on it in case he
Yeah,
breaks it or
that's
something.
actually
That'd be pretty
cool.
funny.
That's actually cool. I like that. How much of the story is already shown in the trailer? To my knowledge, not a lot. To my knowledge, but that's just what I know. That information could be wrong. But that's all I got. I think that's it, man. I think that's it. Is there
I think that
anything?
is it, yeah.
Yeah. Do you wanna say anything to the people? Obviously shout your stuff out. Do your final goodbyes. Are you streaming
All
tonight,
right,
by the
well,
way?
look.
Yeah. What's up?
Here's the thing, right? I would love to stream. I'd love to tell everyone here and yourself right as
Mm,
soon as this ends, gonna set it up, gonna stream. But
yes.
to be honest, I'd much rather get that network adapter in tomorrow, have less problems, less fuckabouts, try it on a test stream account, right,
Mm,
and then smash it from there.
right.
However, and like Jake said, it's also midnight, so um,
I've streamed at
I
I've
will be.
started streaming at like 3 a.m. Pussy.
Fucking right. All right. You go on. Good for you, buddy. Fucking dickhead, honestly. Listen here, all right? We're not
Yeah.
all
What's up?
mental cases like you. Fucking
Mm-hmm.
crash test, super adaptoid, little hoe bag. Anyway, I'll be doing an Iron Man build today, which will
Okay.
essentially you can use it in your Omega level threats. You can use it in Tachyon rifts, where basically you get loads of intrinsic and you
Mm,
get strong missiles at the same time. So if you want to watch that, I'll be uploading it very soon. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will be streaming tomorrow because I will get it
mm.
sorted. I will call High Ruler, and you need to get up earlier because I'm not waiting until fucking 6 for you to get your fucking ass up to help me
Oh no,
out.
I do have to wake up early tomorrow, so I gotta go fight all the other nerds in my comic book shop. So
Oh yeah, wait. When is early for you? My time. Can we do that real quick?
so I wake up. So my comic book shop opens at 11, so I'll be up probably like 10. So that's like 3 o'clock for you.
Damn it, that's so late. All right, fine.
I'm sorry, dude. I don't wake up at 6 a.m. anymore. I don't have a job or a life. I sleep into whenever.
You could have spoke. You could have spoke to me at work if you still worked at your puke sports center.
Sports Center, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
could have.
remember those days.
They're so
They were
long. I
good days.
don't. So long ago, I don't actually remember them. So
Because you're
so
old.
so Iron Man video tonight, streaming tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Do you want to tell
So,
people where to find
so
you at those
I'm gonna,
for those?
so subscribe to the smiley face person there, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
put my Twitch in because it's been a while since I've advertised the Twitch, and I don't remember
Yes.
how to put Twitch links because they don't work when I do them.
Uh,
Nothing works when I fucking do it nowadays, to be honest.
yeah, you
Nothing
just
does.
yeah. I mean, it's just kind of the way it is sometimes.
There you go. There's
Okay.
that.
So yeah, I'll just really quickly show my own stuff out here. For anyone who doesn't know, I am doing a cosplay at if I get 2,700 subs before War for Wakanda, I will be doing a cosplay as Cirque Kate. And that'll be on the War for Wakanda stream. I've already said that could be a very, very, very long stream, depending on how much content is tied to that. So at minimum, you'll probably get like at least 6 hours of me in that cosplay. So I mean, that's quite a bit of incentive there.
It's gonna be the longest wank I've ever done in my life.
I am 13 subs away. I'm 13 subs away from that. So we're closing in quick. If I think I need like 2 days to order everything from Amazon. So if I can get there before probably the 14th, I'm at 2.69. It says 2687 on my end. So that's where we are for that. 13 subs away. Yeah, 13 subs away. Outside of that, I'm also going to be doing a lot of comic videos. I've kind of neglected my other channel for the past like 2 weeks because I've been an absolute addict with Avengers. So I've already.
Sorry.
Shut up. So my other channel, I'm going to be doing a bunch of comic videos I'm going to drop over the next few days. I have one recorded already. I'm going to do Spider-Man 71 tonight, Shang-Chi, and then we're doing a bunch tomorrow as well. So we're doing a bunch of those. Stream tonight? No stream tonight because I'm going to work on these videos. More than likely, so here's what the next few days entails, guys. More than likely, there may not be a stream tomorrow, but don't hold your breath on that one. There could still be a stream tomorrow. Thursday, here's the plan for Thursday. So Thursday, are we doing OLT stuff? Me, you, Bull, and Sonic?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here's what we got going on for Thursday. Thursday is like a 12-hour stream. So the breakdown is that after reset on Thursday, I'm going to be doing the runs with Stardust, Bull, and Sonic, just like we did on the first day. At about 6 p.m., I'm going to be playing with Trix Ridiculous. If anyone knows Trix, Trix and I are going to be running with people from both of our chats. So it'll be like a split stream. It'll be first part with these guys, and then the second half we'll have Trix involved in that. So Thursday is going to be a very long stream for anyone who wants in. And for anyone who wants to play with Trix and myself, we're going to be running you guys through the OLT for there. So Thursday will be like a 12-hour stream. So if I don't stream tomorrow, just know Thursday is going to be an extra long one to make up for it. Or maybe I do stream tomorrow and you guys get both days. So I think that's it for everything on my end. Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm just currently trying to like figure out a day with my best friend Andy Wong about when we can do this.
Best friend, eh?
Best friend. Sorry,
Perfect.
mate. Sorry, mate.
No, it's
Sorry,
cool,
mate.
dude. Just very quickly, what's up with the Mega Hive update? So the Mega Hive on Thursday will be, you get 3 rewards. So you can run it 3 different times. You get 3 different rewards. I'm pretty sure you can run it with the same character 3 times. So if you want to, say for example, you have an Iron Man, you can run the Mega Hive 3 times with Iron Man, and you should be good to go. If it's Thursday, I can join you. Yeah, Trix and I are gonna be running a lot of people through it, so we're gonna do it. Is it permanent? It's for.
I see what it is. All right, mate. All right.
Well, we're running as a 4-man for the first part.
Yeah. All right, mate. Just kick me out then. Bring Trix on. Cool. Nice.
You're replacing me with Andy, so that's fine. Is this
What
change
you
permanent?
mean?
So the change for that one in particular, same with the OLTs, yes, and it's for the month, so it's for both OLT and the Mega Hive. So it's for both of those. So it'll be 3 times a weekly reset. You can run both of those. So it's 3 times per OLT, 3 times per Mega Hive, and there you go. So there it is. All right. I think that's it for the show today, guys. Obviously, thank you guys so much for watching us, checking us out. Thank you guys so much for helping me bully Stardust about Spider-Man, who is never coming to this game. He has been canceled. And we will see you guys probably Sunday.
Send me to me.
Are you making this another awkward ending? Is this what this is again? You making this another awkward ending? You
all
good?
right, listen, everyone. Hyrule, okay? I'll tell you a little bit about Hyrule, all right? Who's clearly just disowned me as a friend. This guy, right, abuses me on the daily, all right?
Yeah.
He sends me messages of his like little man dick, and it has like insults on it, like every time. So like he'll call me, like he'll write like dickhead on his own penis and send me the picture. It's like it's not just normal verbal assault; it's also sexual assault. All right, and we can't have that. uh, more like
I have the outro screen up now, so this is where you get to say goodbye.
more like small ruler.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys next time here on the weekly recap. As always, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. It's not really so much a pleasure hanging out with Stardust, but I'll bring him back next week because
That's
some
not
of you
true. I
guys, some
love
of you
you.
guys, some of you guys like him. So, we will see you guys.
Yay!
We will see you guys next time here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and have a good rest of your day, evening, and night. Take care. Take care of yourselves. Adios.